Welcome to Find Your Strong, the podcast that's here to help you free yourself from food rules, fitness guilt, and those weird detox teas.
Oh, do not get me started, Ella.
All right, I won't. I'm Ella, nutritionist and intuitive eating counselor.
And I'm Christine, personal trainer, intuitive eating counselor, and your hype woman for joyful movement.
You are, woohoo! Together we talk to experts, share stories, and hopefully leave you feeling a bit more at home in your body.
So if you're ready, let's find your strong. Hello, how are you all? We are hot today, aren't we, Ella?
We are hot and bothered, absolutely. It's the hottest day of the year so far.
It's ridiculous.
But it hasn't stopped us from recording an episode for you guys.
No. And if you're feeling hot, you have our sympathies. I'm not good with the heat. I don't know anybody who's brilliant with the heat, but I don't know. It's like it's Brighton. I live in Brighton, south coast of England, and it is this thing that it used to get sunny, but it'd be cool in the shade, and then the evening it would be cool and you could sleep on it. And now if there's heat,
it stays.
It's like literally heat wave is here. You can't sleep, you can't do anything. You just sweat profusely, uncomfortable for the whole time, and then it's freezing again.
Yeah, it's very strange, isn't it? And I think we were talking. Actually, I went out for lunch with my husband, who's just taken the week off, and he picked for some people probably the right week because it's actually nice summer weather. And we were talking about how things might shift in the UK as well, because if you go to somewhere like Spain or Italy, everything is shut over lunchtime. They close shop at, say, 11:30, 12 o'clock, and then open up again and live in the evenings. Whereas where we went, it was so busy and everyone was sitting outside in the sun having their lunch. And I just thought, wow, we haven't quite worked that one out yet, in the UK, have we?
Well, I was sitting on the beach in the middle of the day person. I'm no, you go, absolutely not. After 5, I'm a 5:36 sit on the beach person. So so
definitely.
but we're very lucky. I'm very lucky to be able to sit on a beach. So
you are very lucky. Yeah, I wish I had something to cool down in, but nothing around here other than a manky river.
But we were a what river?
Oh, just a manky river, because I don't know what they put in there. It's always brown.
Oh, gross.
I know. I go paddleboarding on it, but I wouldn't swim in it. No, it's a bit sus.
You have to move to Brighton. That's just the only way.
I think I might. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I might have to.
But anyway, with the hot weather, now this is interesting because I went running with my daughter this morning and I wore these little kind of capri snag tights. Like, bottomless, footless, bottomless.
That's a whole different podcast episode.
I'm thinking bottomless brunch or bottomless breakfast.
Oh, well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so they were cut off capri footless tights. And snag are really good and they're size inclusive. So that's
they're brilliant,
them. Because they don't kind of stick into your skin and all of that. But my daughter asked the question, why are you wearing tights when it's so hot? And to be honest, because I feel weird running in my skirt with my sort of jiggle of the legs when I'm running. And this is, it's a natural body image concern, and at some point in the summer I go, fuck it, and I do it anyway. But at the beginning of summer, it takes me a minute.
Yeah, I think you're not alone. I think it takes a lot of people a minute to kind of adjust from being all covered up to bearing a lot more of their bodies. I think that is a real tricky transition for people.
But I think it's because of what we're subjected to, is the images that we receive. You don't see the cellulite, you don't see any bad lighting, legs and bad lighting, you don't see how normal legs move. So you think, I shouldn't look like that, I should have smooth, even though I'm 50, my legs should look like I'm 20. And, it is that thing of, is it, just being confident enough to go, doesn't matter, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. And it just, for me, it always takes a few months, like a month maybe, and then I'll wear whatever. But it's just the beginning. I'm like, I don't feel particularly comfortable because I like that feeling of, like, I wear sort of supportive tights or leggings, and I like that feeling of being held in my body. And I think it brings things up for people because you know what I mean? It is that thing that here's what a body should look like. Yours is not quite there. It jiggles,
Mm,
it moves around, it has
hmm
dimples in it. It's and you're trying to go, no, but I accept my body as it is. So I'm in that space where I've done the work and I
hmm
will free my legs at some point, but it's still work, Ella.
mm.
It's still,
Yeah.
you still have to talk to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Do
it's
you?
every year it's the same thing, isn't it? Every year we have to kind of go through that transition again and
Yeah. And
again
how
because
do
every
you
year
feel? Do you feel the same? Or are you completely at ease in the summer?
I'm not at ease because I hate being hot. That's for starters. But yeah, I don't know. I think as I'm getting older, I'm feeling it. I wore short shorts the other day because it was so hot. And usually I'm a little bit like, ooh. So bizarrely, in my 20s, I wouldn't have been seen in those shorts. They're half the size of what I used to wear. I used to wear sort of more
Wow,
Bermuda length. And now I'm a lot less worried about that. So I wear shorter shorts now.
that's great.
Yeah, I think I mind less, and the transition is taking me less time now than it used to, but it definitely was a thing for a while. The pale skin, the jiggles, the whatever we are told isn't attractive.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is that's a real thing as you go from being covered up into not wearing much. And I think for us at the moment, it's like from zero to hero with the temperatures, isn't it? It was
yeah,
like woolly jumpers a
yeah.
couple of weeks ago, and now it's literally can't wear anything that, you're sweating anything. It's just
Well, I had a
that
real
change.
sort of real time moment where I was walking down to the beach. Sorry,
Mm,
very privileged position, living by the beach. I was walking down to the beach and I felt a bit jiggly. I was like, it's okay. That's what
mm,
legs do. It's
mm,
fine. But I was aware of my body. I was very looking at myself. This is great how humans work. You can look at what
mm,
you're thinking. I was
mm,
looking at my thoughts and I was thinking, I'm very aware of myself and my legs and all of that. And then I went down to the beach, got my cozy on. I mean, it was on. Just took my dress off, walked into the sea. Well, hobbled on the rocks into the sea
yeah.
and screamed a bit because it was absolutely freezing. And it was like a different thing. When I came out, I swam in the freezing cold water. I'd got in. By the time I came out, I felt completely different. I got changed on the beach and then walked up. And it's almost that visceral, that feeling of that sort of shock of the cold. And
Mm,
it almost shocks you into your body.
mm,
So then I was in my body in the sea very much. And
mm.
as I was walking on the stones, which was really painful, and then trying to do the Mr. Bean getting dressed under the towel without the side boob and
Oh,
you know,
brilliant. I love it.
and then I forgot my bra and everything.
So you
There was
jiggled
just
home.
jiggles home. And I was very much in my body rather than
Mm,
being aware of my body.
yeah.
And it was like, I could not, it made me just want to write it all down. I'm so glad we were doing the podcast because that is something I would say to anybody who's really struggling, feeling self-conscious about their body. Do something, whether it is
Mm,
that sort of put ice cold water on your wrists or lift something
mm,
heavy or push or do something that makes you feel in your body.
mm.
It can make the biggest difference. So the rest of the day, I've actually felt much more in my body than
That's interesting.
looking at my body, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like that works with the cold only, or do you have other things that work for you that get you into your
No,
body?
I find it's like a flow state. If like running, I can get it running. If I get
Mm-hmm.
into a groove with running,
Mm-hmm.
doing heavy kettlebells or doing balance sort of single leg work with
Mm-hmm.
kettlebells where you
Mm-hmm.
just have to focus on what your
Mm-hmm.
body's doing. And it's, I find that anything where you really have to focus, you're lifting something heavy or you're getting that shock of ice.
Yeah.
I'm not sort of saying, oh, wellness culture, everybody needs to do the cold plunge in the saunas. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think it is something that's really valuable when you get really stuck in that
Mm.
looking at yourself and
Mm.
being aware, especially when you're wearing less clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
It snaps you out of it, doesn't it? I think sometimes we can get so in that thought spiral. that we need something to snap us out of it, whatever that might be. It could be cold water, it could be exercise or movement or lifting something heavy, just something to just get us out of that and give us a break from that.
Yeah, and it is, that we are, it's that, I keep going back to Stephanie Michelle, but it is that living body, objectified body.
Mm,
So walking to the beach, I was in my objectified body.
mm,
And then once I was in the sea and getting changed and all that, I was in my living body. And
mm.
that felt so much better. Because
Of
then I
course.
was thinking, oh, am I comfortable on the beach? And I was having a
Mm,
nice coffee and I was just thinking of myself and how I felt and how the
mm,
stones felt under me and how, do you know what I mean? How the water
mm,
felt, how it
mm.
just made, and you were very aware of the sounds around you, of the sea, of the horizon. It just suddenly, the world opened up from being this, look at my legs, look at my
Yeah,
cellulite, look at,
yeah, yeah.
um, so yeah, that was just my little experience I wanted to share.
That's lovely. Thank you for sharing that. And I think that I feel like that is a very cool example of being mindful and being in the present moment. And people think of mindfulness sometimes as this thing where you have to sit on a cushion and meditate, but that's
Yeah,
meditation. That is different. And you even don't have to sit on a cushion when you meditate. But mindfulness, I'm a massive fan of everyday sort of micro moments of mindfulness where you literally are present, where you notice, as you said, the stones under your feet, the cold water on your skin. Does it feel like to drink an iced coffee through a straw? You can be mindful in any of those moments and feel your body in those moments. And I think that is just so, so important because that's one of those things that snaps us out of overthinking, right?
100%.
Mm,
100%. And it's and if you're listening, if you have any technique or things that you use yourself or things that you do that you find snap you out of that, of those moments where you feel stuck and you just,
mhm,
suddenly it's those things like you're in a changing room and things don't fit and you get really into that almost panicky moments. What
mhm,
what brings you out of that, you know?
mm, mm.
Um, but anyway, I wanted to also talk to you about, we were talking about salads and things.
Yes.
Summertime. So we
Uh-huh.
being in your body,
Mm,
we're intuitive eating counselors, so it's all about that sensing your hunger, your fullness. In summer, I think I tend to be a bit less hungry
mhm,
just because it's hot. And I want to eat more fruit and more
mhm,
fresh, light salads, and I don't want stodge. Whereas in winter, I
mhm,
love stodge. So much.
mhm,
Do you feel the
mhm.
same?
Oh, 100%. I think it's one of those things that I think is a very in tune with the seasons kind of eating because in the winter you want stuff that warms you, that fills you up, that makes you feel cozy.
Yeah,
In the summer, you're less likely to want to eat stuff that makes you even warmer than you already are. So you're looking for things that are cooling, that
yeah,
are bringing your body temperature down, that aren't too heavy in your stomach because your body's working really hard not to overheat. So it doesn't really want to spend an awful lot of time digesting like a dumpling stew.
yeah.
So I think that when we're talking about the heat bringing up things, I think that can also bring up some interesting thoughts for people because diet culture tells us we should be eating salads all year round because that's healthy. And I'm using air quotes here for anyone not watching the YouTube video. Um, and in the summer, we kind of want that kind of food. So there is a potential of us feeling a little bit virtuous about the food choices we make,
Okay.
whereas they could, in theory, just be intuitive food choices. But I think as soon as we sort of bring too much thought into it, we can very easily moralize our food choices in the summer, if indeed we are people that prefer to eat a salad instead of a burger and chips, for example. I'm just using examples here. But if you choose the salad, it's very easy to feel a bit more virtuous about it. And
Yeah.
I feel like we want to get people away from morality around food. So it's just an interesting thing that may happen to anyone listening. And I don't want to say don't do it. It's wrong. I'm just saying just be curious about what comes up for you when your body's actually telling you that you would prefer the sorbet or the salad or the smaller plate because your appetite has gone down. Is there a part of you that feels, oh, yes, I might just also lose a couple of pounds? Or are
Yeah.
you thinking, oh, actually, that's interesting. My body doesn't want the hot curry or the burger or the pizza. So I don't know. Do you get that? I mean, you said you in the
Yeah.
summer you kind of don't want to eat as much, and I'm the same. I'm often not that hungry. I'm quite happy with, I don't know, a Greek yogurt, fruit, and stuff for dinner sometimes because I'm just not fussed about having anything warm to eat.
And do you not get hungry in the summer then?
I do get hungry. I do get hungry, but I mean, this is just me personally, and it might be different for other people. I tend to crave different foods, and I tend to not be as hungry. I can get very hungry, and I can get very hangry as well,
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
easily. And if I don't get food, I'm not a joy to be around. Whereas the rest of the time, obviously,
Naturally. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so yeah, I definitely notice the difference. I want cool things. I want things that are refreshing and quick. I don't want to cook for long. And
I know. That's something that I'm struggling with as well. I don't want to be in the kitchen cooking for
no,
hours, you
no, you
know?
don't want to because it's, if you cook something over a hot stove, it gets even hotter. So yeah, I'm just curious, and it would be fantastic if anyone listening to this has got some experiences to share.
Are you meaning it's almost like people are using it as an excuse in a way? Oh, it's summer, so I don't have to.
It could
But what
it
are
could
you
be. I think yeah, maybe less of
or
an
the feelings are
excuse.
coming up, oh, I might lose weight if I
Exactly,
continue
exactly.
to eat like
Because
that.
the way that we eat in the summer might be more akin to what we're being told we should be eating all year round, which is less, smaller portions, salady kind of thing. I keep going on about salads, but is a typical summer food. So that kind of thing is
Yeah.
diet culture. And I think someone who's maybe on the intuitive eating exploration and working towards being an intuitive eater might find that quite challenging because
Yeah.
they are maybe making peace with all foods and those foods are probably not the salads. Do you see what I mean? They are
Yes.
probably the foods like the burgers and the chips and all of the things that we're being told not to eat by
Yeah.
diet culture. So come the summer and they actually crave a salad, that might feel really challenging
But
to them.
not all salads are the same. So there are,
No.
do you know what I mean? So there are salads with the side of dressing over there, or you can have
Yes.
a creamy Caesar
Yeah.
salad with
Of
chicken and
course.
croutons and
Of
all the
course. Yeah. I'm
bacon
using a
and
salad as an
yeah,
example of a
yeah.
sort of I'm talking about the very boring,
But
just
what
a
I'm
few
saying is
leaves.
you can still choose in a similar way. So you can
Mm.
choose rather than the light green salad, you can
Mm.
choose kind of a more,
Mm.
do you know what I mean? Sort of one that is a bit, maybe has been a bit scary to you in the past. If
Of
you're on
course.
that route of sort of
Of course.
habituation and eating sort of foods
Yeah.
that you've been a bit scared of in the past,
Yeah.
there's still opportunity in summer. But yes, absolutely.
Mm.
It's much easier to not and get stuck in a rut and just eat
Hmm.
light and
Hmm.
sorbets. And
Hmm.
yeah, I can see that. I
Hmm.
can see
And
that.
even only because we're in the summer doesn't mean that our body suddenly needs less energy. It's more of an appetite kind of thing, and we might need a similar amount of calories and energy because we're
Yeah.
doing the same kind of thing
And sweating
and
more.
sweating buckets. So, it's very important to stay hydrated for sure. So you might find that you're still getting hungry, but maybe you're getting hungry later in the day when it's cooler, and that in and
Yeah.
of itself can be really challenging. So, yeah, it's just an invitation to anyone listening to notice what happens to you when the
Yeah.
heat dials up and your appetite might dial down, and what kind of thoughts come up and what kind of things might be going on.
No, I like that, and I'm gonna think about because it's only been the last few days that we've had
Mm,
this thing.
mm,
It is definitely, I think we were having for lunch, we were having like sandwich with falafel and all of this, and it
mm,
felt too heavy. I felt like this is
right.
I want a salad with like
Mm,
fresh baguette on the side.
hmm.
That's kind of what I want. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay attention. But on that note, do
Mm-hmm.
you ever think, so in terms of this mindfulness piece,
Mm-hmm.
with salads, with all different types of food, do you
Mm-hmm.
find that obviously textures are quite important, aren't they? When you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I like crunchy things, and they
Mm-hmm.
there's something for me. I like crunch. I can't just have a yogurt. I like a bit of crunch in my yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Totally, yeah.
So, and that's just a, I also would invite people to notice what texture of food they
Mm-hmm.
like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If it's soft, if it's creamy, if it's crunchy, if it's,
Mm.
all of that. Because I find that that can be quite calming in certain times, or it can be
Mm.
quite, apparently it's quite good if you're feeling in like sort of freeze mode to eat something crunchy can
Oh, right.
just,
Yeah.
wake up the nervous system a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes
So,
sense.
yeah, and that's just another invitation to take your time and notice. And this is part of intuitive eating, not
Mm.
just punishing yourself and eating the most, the lowest calorie option on the menu,
Mm-hmm.
but it's actually what do I crave? Do I crave
Mm.
creamy, crunchy,
Mm-hmm.
liquid? So what do you actually want to eat?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's hard, isn't it?
It is hard, yeah. It's I mean, and also because it feels like it's a bit narrowed down because if we sort of discount all of those foods that are a bit more stodgy and heavier because we really don't fancy them, the choices that we have of getting a little bit narrower. So,
Yeah, but then is it not okay? I do have this struggle. I don't like pasta. I really don't like pasta.
oh,
And I don't like
we
potato.
could not live together because
I
we
know.
literally live on pasta here.
Well, the thing is, we're trying to sort of normalize food in the household.
Yeah.
So I'm eating a lot of pasta because, I'm just eating what is made.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I don't want the pasta.
You don't want
I don't want the potatoes. I don't want the pasta. And that is not a diet culture thing for me. That is
mm-hmm.
just a food preference thing. I could eat
Yeah.
any type of bread you give me, I will
Mm-hmm.
eat it. I am not against carbs. I love carbs, but I don't like
You don't
pasta
like
and
pasta. Fair
potatoes.
enough. Is it a texture thing for you?
It's a texture thing for me,
Mm.
ADHD, blah. But
Mm.
my family just think I'm really annoying and picky and have diet issues, diet culture issues. And I'm like, I just don't like it.
Just don't like
I'll
pasta,
eat
thank you.
it if I have to, but I don't
Mm.
like it. And I think
Mm.
it's also just noticing because I think obviously sometimes you just got to eat for sustenance, for fuel, all
Of
of that.
course.
I do like to eat what I like where I can.
Mm.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And if you can, that's great. I mean, that's part of it, isn't it? And it's a privilege to be able to
Privilege.
choose to eat what
Yes.
you
Yeah.
what you fancy. But sometimes that's just not possible.
I know.
And then we have to make the best of what we've got. I mean, you can always add something crunchy to it. I've discovered crunchy chili. Have you had that? Do
Oh
you like spicy
no.
food?
I do. I do.
Oh my God, get yourself a jar of crunchy chili and you will never look back. You can put that on your pasta if that then improves the texture. You might like it a
Okay.
bit better.
Mm,
Oh my
okay.
God, it's the best.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a sense, it's definitely a texture thing for me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe I'll have a think about that. But before we wrap up today, I know we've
Mm.
bounced a bit, which is quite normal.
Mm.
I want to say in terms of the movement piece,
Mm. I was just going to get into that as
yeah.
well.
This is something that really pisses me off beyond. It is this no excuses mindset.
Oh, yeah.
It is frigging heat wave central, the hottest temperature we've ever
Yep.
had in May on record. So please moderate your movement. And
Mm-hmm.
I say that with love. Please.
Mm-hmm.
I do not go out midday for a big run. No. Do not,
Mm-hmm.
do not. If you have to, keep it short and extra liquid, extra hydration,
Mm-hmm.
and just tune into your body because I get zapped of energy when it's this hot.
Same.
And I had a group this morning who came to my house, and both people who arrived for kettlebells were like, "I'm exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just like lie on the mat and do something?" So I said yes, because I'm exhausted too.
Mm-hmm.
We just lay on the mat and did triceps and did sort of things
Great.
close to the ground, but I that's
Yeah.
what I needed.
Yeah.
So don't
Yeah.
expect to follow. If you're on a plan of, crazy workouts 4 times a week, don't expect to follow them to the letter,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're in a location that is not air conditioned
Mm-hmm.
and it's incredibly hot and you've not slept because of the heat, etc.,
Hmm.
etc. So
Hmm.
it's something that I feel incredibly strongly about. You don't, every week doesn't have to look the same with movement.
Yeah.
You've got to really tune into how your body's feeling with the heat
Yeah.
and just moderate it a bit.
Definitely. I'm so glad you said that because I was going to ask you about what would you recommend? Because we don't tend to tell people what to do, but this is actually a health and safety announcement.
Yes, it
Don't.
is. It
And I
really
did
is.
see people run in the midday heat, and I thought, what are you doing to yourself? That's not good for your body. Your body is completely um it's just overheating. It looked dangerous to me
With
because
this is, I have a running group on a Wednesday
mm,
at 5, and
mm,
I said to them, we're cancelling tomorrow because it's to be another scorcher on the
yeah,
seafront. There's
yeah.
no shade where we run,
No,
none.
it's not
And
good.
I
Even at
do,
5 o'clock, it's too hot still.
it's really is. And I don't want to, it's like the health and safety thing. Even
Hmm.
if people could do it and would be fine, I don't want to put them at any risk.
No,
So
no.
I just thought, well, next week it'll be raining and freezing. Let's do it
Of
then.
course. But we're in England, of course it will be.
But it's part of this whole piece that ties all in together.
Yeah,
Summer brings up stuff for people in
absolutely.
terms of body image, in terms of nutrition, exercise, all of that.
Mm.
Complicated things. There's a lot flying around in your head.
Mm.
So just be kind to yourselves and just take a pause and think, is this me or is this diet culture coming at me? You know
Yes.
what I mean? What are your final parting words?
No, let's not meet because you nutshelled that beautifully. That was like the best nutshell ever. So
Okay.
thank
Okay.
you. That's exactly it. Yes. I
But
have nothing to add to that. That was beautiful.
brilliant. Brilliant. But everybody stay hydrated. Take care
Yes.
of yourselves. By next week, it'll be raining and back to 14 again.
Yep. And
So
we'll be wearing jumpers and not
we'll be
strappy
wearing
top.
jumpers. So just take it easy this week. Lots of love. Thank you for listening. Oh, we've got
Mhm.
really good guests next week. We've got Deb
Exciting.
Benfield from Unapologetic Aging. She just wrote a book on it and she's amazing.
Can't
So I'll
wait.
put that in the show notes. But yeah, tune in next week to listen to her. Lots of
Bye.
love.
Stay cool.